Time now for the Gold Show with Kenny Michaels. Now, here's your host, Kenny Michaels.
All right. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Kenny Michaels. It is great to be here this morning. Welcome aboard. We are broadcasting live this morning from Marina del Rey, California. We are broadcasting remote. Welcome aboard to the show. Here we go. We got a lot to talk about. The number to get me live, I've gone ahead and turned the phone lines on here in studio. The number to get me live is 888-350-3005. Again, 888-350-3005. That's the number to talk to me live. Let's go. All right, Wednesday, market dropped 1,100 points. How much money did you lose? For those of you sitting with your IRAs, your 401ks, your retirement accounts, here we go. This week was a disaster for people sitting in stocks, mutual funds, bonds, paper assets. It was a disaster. The market dropped because the Fed cut interest rates. That's also a disaster for those of you with money in the bank. Because as interest rates go down, the bank's not going to pay you what you were hoping, right? That makes sense. And at the same time, your stocks are tumbling now because here we go. We're getting close to Inauguration Day. So much, in fact, that there were two articles this week, one on MarketWatch, one on the Wall Street Journal, that think the market is going to crash in January. That's what they said. Now, they didn't say if it would be before Inauguration Day or after, but they think January is the time when people are going to see a significant reduction in their retirement accounts. Okay? If you're 59 and a half or older, you can't afford any reduction. You've already lost money this week. You can't afford another reduction. You cannot. Because how long will it take to come back? And I have more news to tell you that it ain't going to come back for a very long time when I give you this other information. So now's the time to protect your assets and move to gold, right? Because every single time there's a market crash and you're in gold, gold explodes, right? Last market crash, gold and silver shot up 330% when the market crashed. Here we go again, baby. Okay? Call Reagan Gold Group. These guys are the best in the business by far. These guys will get it done for you. Takes 5 minutes to open up your precious metals IRA. Their number, and they're there right now, their direct number is 888-351-8999. Again, 888-351-8999. Or you can go to mygoldquiz.com. That's right. If you go to mygoldquiz.com, fill out the 4 questions. It's easy peasy. You don't need a college education to answer the 4 questions. They've made it that easy. You'll see the good-looking Kenny Michaels right on that homepage anyway, so you get a thrill to get to see me, right? And just fill out the form, and your information will come directly to my email, and I'll call you when the show's over. Okay? All right, the number to get me live here in studio is 888-350-3005. That talks to me live on air. Of course, the amazing Wendy's with us this morning on phones. She's phenomenal. Make sure you're nice to her when you call. All right, here we go. So we know the market tumbled all week this week. Everybody with an IRA, 401k lost money. This is only the beginning. Right after that happened, the central banks around the world have been doubling down on gold. You say, what does that mean? Well, they're losing confidence in the U.S. dollar. They're losing confidence in our paper investments. And so to secure their own future, central banks around the world are doubling down on gold. It means they're buying more and more and more of it. There's a constant purchasing of gold by other countries because no one has faith in our dollar. That makes sense, right? Gold's a safe haven. Gold's a place to go to protect yourself. Countries are protecting themselves with gold. It makes sense because nobody trusts our dollar. Our dollar is weakening by the minute. No, Trump is not going to fix it. You can forget it. Okay? It's too far gone at this point. That's why Trump wants to move us to the gold standard. Trump talks about gold all the time, right? So much, in fact, get this one. Trump said on Wednesday, he said, mayhem is the point. And as I read the article, I realized what he's talking about. He says in the article, when I take over, there is going to be chaos. There is going to be mayhem. I have to create mayhem to fix these government issues. Of course, anytime you uproot to the magnitude he's uprooting something, there's going to be chaos. And his exact words, you ready for this? So if you're sitting on an IRA or 401k, listen to this. He says the financial markets are not going to withstand the mayhem. They'll come back eventually, but they're not going to withstand the mayhem. That's where he's getting his short-term pain for long-term gain, right? The problem is if you're 59 and a half or older, you don't have time to wait. Maybe it'll come back in a year. Maybe it'll come back in 20 years. You don't have that time to wait because that retirement account is what you're banking on to survive in your golden years. So here your president-elect is now saying, I'm going to create mayhem. I'm going to create chaos. I have to. And the financial markets are going to show an effect, and it ain't going to be good. Right? He says, eventually it will come back. Do you have eventually when you're 62 years old? Do you have eventually when you're 75 years old? The answer is no. So as a precaution, as a safe haven, you take your retirement, you roll it tax-free, penalty-free into a precious metals IRA. Call Reagan Gold Group. They'll do the whole thing for you. There's no charge for any of this. Just get it done, right? I know we're 4 days before Christmas. Who cares? Who cares? Protecting your retirement account is more important than wrapping a gift. I got news for you. So just make the phone call. These guys will get your account out of harm's way. Now, listen. Once Trump is done doing what he's doing and we see the results and we see that, okay, here we are a year and a half later and things are great and things are fabulous. Well, then roll back tax-free, penalty-free, right back into stocks. But for now, your own president-elect is now saying, I'm going to create mayhem and there's going to be chaos. And he said the financial markets are not going to withstand it. He said eventually they'll come back. What the hell is eventually? Eventually for a 30-year-old kid, who cares? What is eventually if you're 63 and you got a plan to retire in 2 years? What's eventually, man? You can't afford it eventually. Right? So, call Reagan Gold Group. They'll help you. Okay, their direct number right now, folks, is 888-351-8999. Again, 888-351-8999. Or you can go to mygoldquiz.com. Okay, fill out the 4 questions, hit submit, finish, close, whatever it says, and me, the good-looking Kenny Michaels, will call you the minute the show's over. Not a problem, okay? So you can go to mygoldquiz.com or you can call 888-351-8999. Anyone from Reagan Gold Group that answers that phone is knowledgeable. They'll help you. Not as good looking as I am, but they're very, very good. Give them a call. Highest rated gold company in the country. Okay? All right. The number to get me live here, 888-350-3005. That's the number to get me live. I'm Kenny Michaels. You're listening to The Gold Show. Now, some people say, what do I put in this IRA? Do I put more gold? Do I put more silver? There is a guy called, his name is Peter Krauth. It's Krauth, and he's kind of a precious metals expert. He said on Friday, expect silver to triple. That's what he said. He said silver is going to triple for a variety of different reasons. The biggest reason, he says, is now that artificial intelligence, AI, is using silver in their development, and there's already a silver shortage, they think silver is going to explode. That's why Bank of America a couple of weeks ago said they expect a massive silver rush in 2025, right? Robert Kiyosaki said, get silver. If you want growth in your retirement account, everybody should have physical silver in their retirement account, okay? So I'm not telling you to put all silver. I think you should diversify. Absolutely. Have some gold, have some silver. But if you're looking for growth while you move away from stocks, because stocks aren't going to give you growth, right? At the end of the day, if you're moving away from stocks and you want growth, put more silver than gold in your IRA. Just tell Reagan Gold Group that when you call them, right? When you call them at the 888-351-8999 number, or go to mygoldquiz.com. Either way, you get someone from Reagan Gold Group on the phone, say, hey, I want more silver than gold. And no problem. Once your money rolls over, they'll diversify you any way you want, okay? All right, the number to get me live is 888-350-3005. I'm Kenny Michaels. This is The Gold Show. We already have a caller, so let's go ahead and talk to Ron. Ron, welcome to the show, sir.
Hi, Kenny.
Hello,
I
Ron?
listen to you just about every Saturday. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good. Hi, Kenny. Yeah, I listen to you just about every Saturday, and I got a little bit of a slight opposition kind of call today. You know, I'm not a devil's advocate, but kind of here's the scenario. If I, and you know, my investments have done really well, and I have somebody that, you know, manages it, and it's lots of different things, mutual funds, stocks, structured notes, you know, you name it. If I pull a certain portion, I mean, I don't think you really told people to take everything, but if I take a certain portion and move it to gold, and keep it in mind, gold's dipped here lately as well, as far as what I see. You concur with that?
Well, not really, but go ahead. Keep going. Keep going with your question. Go ahead.
Okay. So I got move out of some investments, and then say maybe when the, you know, things are looking better or what have you, people decide to get back into those mutual funds or stocks, whatever it may be. Chances are they may have, you know, lost out on some dividends, and, you know, possibly now the share price or the stock price is higher. So,
well, Ron, let me ask you, Ron, let me ask you this question, sir. How old are you?
I'm 64.
Okay, so you're basically my age. Ron, I want to ask you a question. You made the comment, if I pull money away and move it into gold, let's say I could lose dividends. Sir, when the market tumbles 40 to 70%, which is what they're calling for in January now they're knocking it, now they're saying it's going to happen in January. If they're right, and when I say they, I'm talking Elon Musk, Robert Kiyosaki, Warren Buffett, President-elect Trump. If they're right and the market changes 40 to 70%, you're going to lose your dividends anyway. Your dividends are going to be significantly impacted. That's number one. But more importantly, number two is this, is that now how long will it take you to get that loss back? Will it take you a year, or will it take you 30 years, or will it take you 20 years? We're at 16 years now since the last crash, sir. So if you're 64 years old, do you have till 80 years old to wait for your money to come back? The answer is no. So temporarily, I'm not saying, you know, run from stocks and never go back. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is since the people who know more than me, know more than you, are giving us a heads up. I mean, my God, Trump on Thursday said there's going to be mayhem. Mayhem is the point. That's what he said. Mayhem is the point. Chaos is the point in order to put this government back where it should be. Okay, he's right. And he did say the market's not going to withstand the chaos. So what he's doing is for those people that can read between the lines, he's giving you a heads up. He's saying, hey, look, you know, expect short-term pain. Well, that's fine. But again, as I always say, short-term pain for 64-year-old man, we should not be having any pain. We don't have time to wait. Okay, we don't have time to remake our money. So in the meantime, whatever you want to move in, yes, you don't move the whole thing unless you don't need it to live on. If you don't need it to live on, some people do a full rollover. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is you get a chunk of your money out of harm's way. You put it in gold. When the market makes its adjustment, we already know what gold's going to do because it always does. Okay, it's never failed, never flinches. And then, listen, as things settle down, If things go back, you can always go back. And as far as buying the stocks at a higher price, no, sir. If there's a market crash or a market adjustment downward, you're going to buy those stocks at a cheaper price, but you'll have more money to buy it with because gold will have gone up at that point. You understand the concept?
Yeah, I understand. I've listened to you talk, quite often, and it's
not about making money, Ron. It's not about when you're 64 years old, it's not about making money. It's about preserving what you have so it's there when you need it. Okay, it's not about the greed anymore, it's about the need.
True. I've heard you talking.
Yeah. So, again, I think it's great to diversify. You think you're diversified because you're sitting in mutual funds and bonds and notes and this. You're in paper, sir. As far as I'm concerned, you have zero diversification because you're in paper. All of those things are negatively affected when the market adjusts downward. And the fact that a guy like Musk and a guy like Kiyosaki and listen, when Warren Buffett gets out of the market, if that's not eye-opening to you, sir, then I don't know what's going to be eye-opening. Okay, so if Warren Buffett says we're going to lose half of our stock, so he gets out, and other financial people that know way more than you or me, for that matter, are all saying the same thing, including the guy we elected, I pay attention. Nothing stops me from going back, but I'm too old to remake it. And so I got to hang on to what I have. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. No, I hear everything you're saying. And just, of course, not being hasty.
Yeah, sir. Again, you know what, sir? I can lead a horse to water, right? But I can't make him drink. If you want to lose your money, stay where you are, sir. Wednesday was a debacle for you, okay? And there's more coming. And at the end of the day, why is everybody going to gold? Why are central banks doubling down on gold? Why are all these people saying silver's going to triple? Why is it that MarketWatch had a big article that said the stock party is over? Okay, be prepared for a massive reduction in your stocks. You have expert after expert saying gold's going to multiply. All this information, everybody's running from the dollar to gold. No one runs from gold, they run to gold. Right? So if all these people are doing it and you want to be the one that says, well, not me, I'm going to stay. Okay, stay. It's like you're getting a tornado warning, but you're going to stay put when it goes right through the center of your house. That's up to you, bro. But at the end of the day, you're 64 years old. You have to think about not only your future, but whoever you're leaving this money to. It's about being smart. I'm not telling you to move your whole account, but I am telling you, take some chips off the table. The party's over. Okay? So you can call
Kenny.
Reagan.
Well,
Call Reagan. Yep, call Reagan Gold Group, 888-351-8999. That is their number, or you can go to mygoldquiz.com. Okay, sir?
All righty, thank you. I got the number.
Have a good day, buddy. All right, bye-bye. All right, I'm Kenny Michaels. This is The Gold Show. The number to get me live, 888-350-3005. That's the number to get me live. I'm Kenny Michaels. Welcome to The Gold Show. Listen, folks, you heard the last caller, right? There are people out there that are going to want to stay in stocks and watch it fall. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. To me, as our president-elect said on Thursday, there's going to be mayhem and chaos. The financial markets are not going to withstand it. I have to believe what he's saying, right? Maybe he's wrong. I don't know. But I'm not willing to risk what I need to live on when I'm 75 years old and 80 years old. I'm not going to risk my retirement account on whether or not he's right. I'm not going to do it. Nor am I going to risk it on whether or not he's wrong. I'm going to get it the hell out of harm's way because I need that money. More so now that Social Security is getting beat up. More so now that there's talk that Social Security may not be here. So that retirement account becomes the most important thing I own because I need it. And I'm just not willing to risk it with the changes that are coming. And now that they've nailed down this market crash, as far as at least saying they think it's going to happen sometime in January, well, it could be before Inauguration Day, could be after, right? But either way, listen, I got news for you. I'm in no position at 62 years old. I am in no position to take a hit. I don't want to take a hit. I can't afford to take a hit, right? And if you're 59 and a half or older, and I always say this, and I'll say it till the day I die, and that is this, it's no longer about the greed. It's about the need to keep that money. It's not how much money you make anymore when you hit a certain age. It's how much money can you hang on to. Inflation's going to reheat. Everybody's saying it, okay? Because Trump's tariffs are going to reheat inflation. Everybody's talking about it. And so now your dollar, it doesn't buy as much. How does someone retire like that? You know how hard it's going to be to stay afloat? And then you're going to leave your money in paper, watch it drop 40%, and all of a sudden now you have less to work with? For some people that have, let's say, $100,000 in their retirement account, sure, $100,000 is a nice nest egg, but if you're in your mid-60s, you could easily outlive that money, right? It's not a lot of money today. You could easily outlive that money. Now what? Your kid's going to support you? So at the end of the day, you may want to take that 100,000 or whatever that number is and move it into gold so you don't lose anything. Because if you left it where it is and it drops 40%, now you've got 60,000. Now your kids will be supporting you sooner than you think, right? That's not the plan. The plan is to get it out of harm's way. You can always go back. You're not stuck in gold forever. It doesn't happen like that. People go in and out of gold. You move to gold when there's volatility, when there's chaos, when there's mayhem, when things are inflated, when the market's too high. Article after article saying the stock party's over. Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, is out of the market. Wake up. If he's out, I'm out. Are you out? Okay. He's the largest owner of silver in the world. Try that. Okay. And now there's talk of silver tripling. Robert Kiyosaki saying everybody should have silver in their IRA. The point is everybody's talking metals. Nobody's talking stocks. Because they're getting the warning. They're seeing what's happening. That's all. Reagan Gold Group will protect your retirement account by simply moving it over tax-free, penalty-free. Takes 5 minutes. Call them. They're there right now. 888-351-8999. That is their number. 888-351-8999. Or go to mygoldquiz.com. If you go to mygoldquiz.com, answer the 4 simple questions, you'll get me, the good-looking Kenny Michaels. It'll come right to my email. And as soon as the show's over, I'll be happy to call you. Okay? All right. The number to get me live here in studio, 888-350-3005. I'm Kenny Michaels. This is The Gold Show. Welcome aboard. Thanks for making us a part of your day. Listen, I get the fact that we're close to Christmas. I get that. And everybody's in holiday cheer. I get that. And you should be. It's the day our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was born, which is all that matters. You should be in holiday cheer. But everybody's got 5 minutes. Okay, if you're in line at Starbucks, you got 5 minutes. Okay, if you're in line at Walmart, you got 5 minutes. Everybody's got 5 minutes to get their money protected. Because as much as you're buying gifts, as much as you're wrapping gifts, as much as you're in holiday cheer and drinking eggnog and all that fun stuff, that's all great. But you wake up sometime in January and your IRA has 40% less in it, or your 401k has 40% less in it, and you're 62 and you had a plan to retire in 3 years. Now what? Now what? The fact Reagan Gold Group moves quickly in protecting accounts, it doesn't take you long. Then you can go back to your eggnog, back to your holiday cheer, but you'll have more holiday cheer because your money's protected. Right? So don't use the holiday as an excuse. You have no time to lose. We saw what happened Wednesday. The disaster's coming. You've been warned. What you do with your retirement account is your business. But I'll tell you what, man, I would never risk my retirement account because it's money I'm going to need. So call Reagan Gold Group. They'll help you. Again, their number is 351-8999, or you can go to mygoldquiz.com. Okay. All right. I'm Kenny Michaels. This is the Gold Show. Let's talk about something else. So one of the items that is really big these days is that people are asking, and I started talking about this before I took a caller, about to put more gold or silver in your new IRA. You should have both. I would never put all of one in an IRA. You want to diversify. Just like when you go to paper, you do mutual funds and you do bonds and you do stock, right? You diversify, right? Precious metals is the same way. You want some gold. You want some silver. Absolutely. If you are between the age of 59 and 75, put more silver than gold in your IRA because silver gives you growth. Okay? If you're over 75, you may want 50-50 or more gold. Okay? All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring our gold guest on, and I will take your calls. 888-350-3005. I'm Kenny Michaels. This is The Gold Show. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. I'm your host, Kenny Michaels. It is great to be here this morning. Thanks for making us a part of your day. The number to get me live here, 888-350-3005. That's the number to get me live. I'm Kenny Michaels. Welcome aboard. The number to Reagan Gold Group. We do have people calling in asking for the number to Reagan Gold Group. Their number is 888-351-8999. That is their number. They will get your account protected. It's quick, it's fast, it's easy, and they're very, very good. Highest rated gold company in the country, by the way. Give them a call, 888-351-8999, or go to mygoldquiz.com. People that do go online to mygoldquiz.com, you answer 4 questions. They're very easy, folks. You don't need a degree. You don't need your statement in front of you. You don't need any of that stuff. Literally, one of the questions is, how old are you? If you don't know that, you have bigger problems in your IRA, right? So at the end of the day, just answer the 4 questions, hit finish, submit, close, whatever it says at the bottom. It'll come to my personal email, and I'll be more than happy to give you a call. All right. Let's hit the phones. We're going to bring on our gold guest. We're going to bring on Cora. Cora, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kenny.
How are you, Cora? Welcome. Good morning.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So I'll let you tell your story. I know that you had heard my show and decided to check out Reagan Gold Group. Tell me what happened.
Well, years ago, my husband and I got a small amount, some coins, gold and silver from a group. And then a few years ago, I think it was 2020, I decided to purchase some gold and silver precious metals from another company. And I used my IRA, and then I converted to Roth, and I stored my gold and silver, and I lost faith in the company. So this year, when I was going to transition more of my IRA into my Roth and into gold and silver, I heard your show, and I was searching for a new company, and I decided, after doing research and looking into other companies, I decided to go with Reagan Gold Group.
Yeah, and you know something, I want to share something with you. You said something just now that's very important. You did your research. You know, one of the reasons I promote Reagan Gold Group, I've done my research. Believe me, I know every company out there. I go to the Better Business Bureau. They're ranked the highest. There's no complaints. That's someone I would do business with my retirement account. Now, what I find interesting is you made a comment is I decided to put more of my portfolio. You wanted to add more. I think that's very smart. And after you and I are done this morning, that's something I need to educate people on, is how you can move some of it and then sit back. And if you need to move more, you can always move more. So you found Reagan Gold Group. How did that process go with them, Cora?
Well, it went excellent. And, I keep learning more, but I really liked Andrew Russell. I got connected with him because of my questions, and he impressed me so much that I knew exactly who I needed to go with. And after doing the research, and I'm very glad I did, because the process went very smoothly.
Well, that's wonderful. And congratulations, by the way, for being this week's gold guest. For being this week's guest, we are going to send you a free pure silver 1 ounce gorgeous Ronald Reagan coin, courtesy of me and my show. Congrats on that. Yeah, you know, people, whenever someone comes on and raves about Reagan Gold Group, they always say, oh, the guy was very knowledgeable. The guy was very nice. The guy held my hand. That's what I love about them. There's no pressure sales. They educate thoroughly. They make sure you're educated before you move forward, and they'll answer any questions. They hold your hand through the entire process. I love these guys. They just do business right by the customer. So, well, I'm glad you're happy. Congratulations on moving more money into precious metals. You're very smart to be doing it, especially with what's going on and what's coming. The more you get into hard assets today, Cora, the happier you're going to be. So congratulations again, and God bless, okay? And Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you. Merry Christmas.
All right.
Merry Christmas. Take care, Kenny.
Bye-bye. All right, the number to get me live, 888-350-3005. I'm Kenny Michaels. This is The Gold Show. So MarketWatch had an article this week that says the stock party is over. Be prepared for a massive reduction in your stock investments. Wow. A massive reduction. Okay, so I hope I've driven the point across. You know, some people could take their whole IRA, your whole 401k. If you're still working and you're not touching your retirement account right now and you're not needing it to live on, people like that move the whole account. Makes sense. Why lose anything? Because you're going to need it all later, right? If you are drawing on your IRA or your 401k, you can move it all over and still draw from the gold IRA, or you can leave a portion in paper and move the rest of it over, whatever floats your boat. Right? But call Reagan Gold Group and they'll get it done. 888-351-8999. Again, 888-351-8999, or go to mygoldquiz.com. All right. Money in the bank. Here we go. You know about bank failures, right? You know that these banks are involved in things that are criminal, flat out criminal. Bank of America recently busted over exorbitant fees. Non-sufficient funds fees that they were charging people. They got busted big time and had to repay all this money. A bank is a place that we unfortunately need because we have bills to pay, right? If we pay our bills online, it needs to come out of an account, right? You can't shove the cash like an ATM machine through your computer to pay a bill, right? So at the end of the day, we all need banks, for sure. But we don't need to load the banks up with all our money. And the one thing you never want to do is tie your cash up in the federal banking system. What do I mean by that? Well, you know, why would you have an IRA through your bank? Wells Fargo, right? Busted for making fake bank accounts, right? Bank of America busted for charging exorbitant fees to their customers. TD Bank, 10th largest bank in the United States, busted for a $3 billion money laundering scheme that they pleaded guilty to. And of course, Chase Bank funding Jeffrey Epstein's island. So at the end of the day, why would you tie your money up in institutions like this? I get the fact we need banks. I get it. I need a bank. I got to pay my own bills. The cash in the bank is becoming more and more worthless and more risky. As the banks involve themselves in this craziness, they run the risk of going belly up. Now, the problem for you is when a bank goes belly up, you say, well, I have FDIC insurance. Yeah, well, that's a joke. Okay. Every article out there talks about it's going to take 5 years for the FDIC to get you your money. Why? Because they have 1.3 cents for every dollar that's out there. They're broke. So you have an institution, a federal banking institution doing things they shouldn't be doing, which creates them to go belly up or run into financial trouble. Then you think you're backed by an insurance company that's got no money. And who backs the insurance company? The government, which is $37 trillion in debt. Doesn't sound like a safe place to invest money, right? The dollar is sinking. Your purchasing power is dropping. If Trump moves us to the gold standard as he's talking about, you can wallpaper your bathroom with the fiat currency. That's the way it goes. That's the way it is. You know, again, countries can manipulate our dollar, right? Countries are going to gold. Why? Because they don't trust our dollar. They're manipulating our dollar. They're trying to get the dollar to sink to ruin it for Donald Trump. They may be successful. I think Trump's going to beat them to the punch, and he's going to move us over to gold and then to hell with the dollar. At the end of the day, folks, minimize what's in the bank. What you absolutely don't need to live on, buy gold and silver as a cash transaction. The number one most popular investment today is physical gold and silver because it does so much for you. If you're buying it as a cash transaction, it's shipped to your home, right? Now you're in possession of it. How great is that? Okay, that wealth transfers to your kids or grandkids with no government intervention. How great is that? Because if you leave the money in the bank, what do I always say? Every single family in this country has an Uncle Sam. Everybody's got an Uncle Sam, whether you like it or not. And in the event of your death, and your heirs take that death certificate and go into the bank, that Uncle Sam always wants a piece of your inheritance. Always wants a piece. But when it's moved into gold and silver and it's sitting in your safe at home, guess what? Uncle Sam is out of the will. Uncle Sam is gone, right? The money goes where it should go. So doing a cash transaction is smart. Because if we are headed for the gold standard, we may need these metals to buy maybe a loaf of bread, a dozen eggs, or a gallon of milk. By owning gold, it does increase your purchasing power, right? I'll give you some numbers that I've given out before. I'll give it again. A couple weeks ago, I ran a scenario that if you had $100,000 in cash in the year 2000, today it would buy you $53,375 worth of goods. That means your purchasing power has dropped in half. Wow. Now, couple that with inflation going up, and how far does your dollar go? Right? It's worthless. Absolutely worthless. But that same 100,000 in the year 2000, if it was in gold and silver, today would buy you $881,000 worth of goods. Wow. Gold doesn't flinch. Gold is always reliable. Precious metals are always reliable, always have been, always will be. It's why it's the only currency mentioned in the Bible. Okay. And I'm going to share one other thing with you. For those of you that are contemplating moving into gold, listen carefully. Okay. In Proverbs 13:22 in the Bible says, a wise man leaves enough inheritance for his children's children. You're not going to do that with stocks. Sorry. Because gold is always there, right? It's a security. It's pure wealth. Okay, so please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have money in the bank, be careful with how much money. Don't tie up CDs. Don't put your money in CDs. What? And now that the Fed has lowered interest rates, the banks are lowering their interest rates. So they're paying you next to nothing. Your money's making nothing. Gold is soaring. Silver is soaring, especially silver. Silver is soaring. And in 2025, they expect record silver numbers. Well, I'd much rather have my money in silver than have it in a CD paying me 2.5% or 3%. Right? And tied up in an institution that I don't trust. Period. The federal banking system, I don't trust. And so at the end of the day, it's just a matter of making the wise choice. Right? Yes, we all need to leave enough money in the bank to pay our bills. Absolutely. But what you don't need to live on, you don't put in a CD. You move it into precious metals. Because one, you're going to get those precious metals sent to you. So now they're in your hand. You're in possession of them. How great is that? Number two, if you ever need to cash those precious metals in, they're very liquid. Reagan Gold Group has the greatest buyback program in the industry. They'll buy back those metals at market value with no fees, no commissions of any kind. You can turn it back into currency if you wanted to, snap of a finger. But in the event this country goes the direction we're headed, and if Trump gets us where he wants to get us, you're going to be glad you're in precious metals and out of the U.S. dollar. So give Reagan Gold Group a call. They're at 888-351-8999. Again, 888-351-8999, or go to mygoldquiz.com. Okay? All right, I'm Kenny Michaels. This is The Gold Show. The number to get me live here in studios, 888-350-3005. Ring up the phone lines now. We have the amazing Wendy on phones this morning. Be nice to her. Ask her your question. She'll get you connected directly to me. Okay? All right. That number here again is 888-350-3005. All right. So I want to go back to something I talked about in the beginning of the show about the fact that all central banks are now doubling down on gold. The main reason for the doubling down is because of the new report with Trump getting so close now to Inauguration Day. People are seeing where we're headed as a country. People are seeing the financial downturn that we're going to face. And let's call it what it is, right? The United States, when the United States is a financial downturn, so does the rest of the world. We always lead, right? The United States is always the one viewed, and everybody reacts to the United States, right? It's just who we are, right? And so Trump has said, I'm expecting a downturn. Listen, Trump has told other world leaders in other countries he's expecting a downturn. So what do those leaders do? They pick up the phone, they call their central bank and say, load up on gold. That's why there's a doubling down on gold. If there's going to be a financial downturn and you are near or at retirement age, please, dear God, protect your account. Please don't use the excuse, well, it's the holidays and I don't have time right now. You got time. You got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to get your account out of harm's way. The holidays come and the holidays go. But you need that retirement account. The fact the process these days is made so easy to put physical silver and physical gold inside an IRA. Reagan Gold Group makes it so easy, it's like ridiculous. Okay? It's a 5-minute process. Anyway, just call them. Their number is 888-351-8999. That is their number. They're there right now. Or you can go online. If you want me to handle your account, I'd be happy to. You can go online, mygoldquiz.com. Okay, fill out the paperwork, not paperwork. There's 4 questions on the website. Fill it out. You'll see me, the good-looking Kenny Michaels, standing there staring at you. Okay, just fill out the 4 questions, and I'll be more than happy to call you when the show's over. Okay, all right. I'm Kenny Michaels. This is The Gold Show. The number here to get me live again, 888-350-3005. That's the number to get me live. I will take your questions live on air. Okay, one other thing. I've been saying for weeks that Warren Buffett's out of the market. Did you know that 2 weeks before he went out of the market, he put an article out on Yahoo Finance saying people need to be prepared for a 50% reduction of their stocks. Now, fast forward to today, MarketWatch is now saying the stock party is over. Be prepared for a massive reduction in your stock investments. There's MarketWatch, okay? The market fell Wednesday, 1,100 points. I've had people blow up my phone all week. Mr. Michaels, my stocks are down. Mr. Michaels, I've lost money. Mr. Michaels, I've lost money. What do you want me to do? I'm telling you what to do to protect your money. I'm telling you how to get an increase in your portfolio rather than a decrease. When the market falls, you lose money. But when the market falls, gold and silver perform. So you want to have some of your portfolio in physical metals. Now you've got guys like Robert Kiyosaki, Ray Dalio, okay, Stanley Druckenmiller. You've got Donald Trump. You've got Warren Buffett. You've got Elon Musk. Everybody telling you, hey, the market's not going to sustain. Plus, Trump said it during the election, he said it's too high. The higher this goes, the harder it falls. And I've said before, I don't care if you're 30 years old and you lose money because you have time to remake it. You got time to work. But the dude that's listening to this show or the woman that's listening to this show who's in her late 60s, early 60s, plans to retire here in a year, 2, 3 years, you have no time to wait. You have the most to lose with the least amount of time to gain. Right? So we have to protect what we have. When we were younger, we was all about making money. Now it's about keeping our money. We can't work forever. And Warren Buffett said, if you don't protect your assets, you'll work until you die. That's what he said. Okay? And the last thing I'll touch on here before this show comes to an end is this. Yes, it's true. Your financial person, your financial advisor is going to be against you moving into gold. Not because it's not good, because he can't make a commission on it. You see, he's only licensed to sell paper assets. I've explained this before. If you go to a Lexus dealer and you're thinking about buying a Mercedes, he's going to tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't buy that Mercedes. Why? Because he sells Lexus. He's paid if he sells you a Lexus, not a Mercedes. Right? Unless he has a used Mercedes on the lot, he's there to sell you a Lexus. And so your financial guy is also paid by something called assets under management. What does that mean? It means that the more money he manages, the more money he makes. So if he's managing a portfolio with all of his customers of $5 million and you come along and move $300,000 away into gold, now he's only paid on $4.7 million. Well, he's going to tell you, hey, don't do that. But he knows we're on the brink of World War III. He knows the digital dollar's around the corner. We're going to talk about the digital dollar next week, by the way. He knows the purchasing power is sinking. He knows inflation's off the charts and reheating. He knows there's going to be a market crash because he's hearing the same reports I'm hearing and everybody's hearing. But yet, he tells you to stay put. Why stay put? If you're 63 years old, why should you lose 40% of your money? Right? Why should you lose 40%? Stupid. Call Reagan Gold Group, folks. Please get your IRA, your 401k protected. It's a smart thing to do. You can always go back to stocks later. If Trump's changes go well, you can always move back. But for now, be smart, right? It's not about the greed anymore. It's about the need to keep the account, right? Reagan Gold Group will get it done. It takes 5 minutes. Again, protect your money, folks. Because the crash is coming. They're saying January. Some say before the inauguration day. Some are saying after. Either way, call Reagan Gold Group at 888-351-8999. Yes, they are there right now. 888-351-8999. Or go to mygoldquiz.com and you'll get me. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. God bless. And remember this, gold and silver will never make you rich, but it will absolutely stop you from being poor. Merry Christmas. See you next week. Bye-bye.